Mic's on too. Hello again, Developer Ali back. So pretty much David has just done my whole presentation for me. No, kind of. So I was here to do a bit of I wanted to talk a bit more about how you'd actually implement NFT storage. So I've built a basic use case for an NFT with Solidity and with React. I think there's a lot of people in the room that will just be like, okay. But I just wanted to show everyone out there, especially if you're on our live stream, how you might go about making an NFT contract for yourself and maybe demystify this a little bit for people that maybe haven't looked too much into the basic NFT contract structure and how it works. So I think we all know what NFTs are, so I'm not going to go down the road there. They're non-fungible tokens. The main point I wanted to make is what David already has kind of made before, is that NFTs, the image or the video or the content that you attach to this NFT, that metadata needs to be stored properly, as David was talking about. So this is really where IPFS and Filecoin can play a large part in the ecosystem. So NFT properties, I'm going to bounce through this. There's so many NFT use cases and applications out there, and I really think we've only kind of touched the surface of where NFTs can go. So, you know, I just wrote a list off the top of my head there of some of the NFT things. We've also heard some really cool NFT applications at the South by Southwest NFT House over the last 4 days. So there was 2 poets or language people talking about the intersection of how we could use word NFTs, and someone had created these airdropped NFTs that when you got this word, you'd then place it in another application and you'd build a poem together. So that was super cool. And it's like collective collaboration. Like everyone's gone crazy over Wordle, and this is kind of like the new Wordle. That's what I thought at the time. So that was really cool. We've got Monaverse upstairs, and we had someone called Hard Architecture showing us how to make a Monaverse NFT, so making the structure in there. Well, yep, and minting it live, so that was really cool. NFTs for social good as well. We held a sustainability panel yesterday, and it wasn't necessarily NFTs, but they were talking about how we fund projects to keep things sustainable. So they were conserving, I think, the local land. I kind of heard it in the background, but they were conserving the local land by, keep using this crypto economic system. So there's so many different ways we can kind of think about doing good with NFTs and with blockchain, and that was my main point on this slide, I think. So anatomy of an NFT contract. I think Open Zeppelin is the best place to go to have a look if you want to have a look at the a basic NFT contract. So this is the ERC 721 contract standard. Yep. So they've even got so this is the code for it, the Solidity code for this, I should say, and you can make NFTs on lots of different chains. I actually did a live stream with Ripple yesterday who implement NFTs completely differently to this. That's another story though, but this is the ERC 721 contract. And as you can see there, it's pretty basic. You can just mint this with, a number of different, it's just a token ID and that URI that you need, sorry. A bit lost without my notes, to be honest. No. Okay, so everyone's probably heard of an ERC 721, and you'll note on OpenSea they even talk about IPFS, so that's interesting. And I think I'm just going to get straight to the code. But basically, why you need IPFS and Filecoin, you need storage that's off-chain, because if you're going to store everything on-chain, that can get really prohibitively expensive. So you don't really want to be storing videos on the Ethereum chain, for example. That could get crazy. Some inspiration. So some of the projects out there that are using IPFS and Filecoin, Audius, LivePeer based on us, New York City Open Data. I think David before mentioned the Internet Archive as well. They're using IPFS and Filecoin. So there's heaps of people building on us is basically what I wanted to say, sorry. All right, this is my project. So I built a little South by Southwest NFT House NFT collection. And if you do have like your laptop with you and a MetaMask and wallet, and I've only put this on Ringfy Testnet, you can go and mint one of these yourself. So I will get the address for you. I don't know if I can paste it into the live chat really, but maybe I can. Yeah, maybe you can see the address here. So it's actually up live. You can go and mint your own NFT if you wanted to. soft-unit-0948.on.fleet.co. Sorry. You can also go and download this project if you wanted to start an NFT to use for yourself. So here's my contract. All I've done is extend the ERC 721 contract from OpenZeppelin. I've added a few different things to it, like I've limited the number of NFTs I wanted to. The main function I wanted to talk about is this mint my NFT function. So when I call this from my React front end, I'm passing in an IPFS URI, which is actually where I'll use NFT storage. I'll pass in this IPFS URI, and that will become the metadata for my NFT collection. And that's really all there is to this like kind of basic contract and a few other functionalities. I wanted to make sure that that address only mints one ticket because the point of it is to kind of be like a POAP, like a proof of attendance NFT. So I'll just connect to my wallet and show you how this works. I think I'll have to connect to a different account. Yep. So what I'm using in the background here is an SVG, and then I'm appending the name that the user inputs to that SVG, and I'm passing that in as the metadata to NFT.storage to store. So as you can see, it'll kind of firstly, when I click mint, it will save that metadata, so the SVG base as well as your name. And then that saves to NFT.storage, and then I'll call my contract and mint the actual NFT with that metadata. And that should come up, just takes a couple of seconds. So to display it on the front end, what I'm doing is using one of those HTTP gateways that David mentioned before. But if you're using Brave or Opera browser, for example, those come inbuilt. So you can actually call an IPFS CID on Brave or Opera. I think there's one more someone was telling me about, Puma as well. So they actually have IPFS natively installed, and you can just go straight to the CID, which is cool. So that minted. So I've now got 2 NFTs minted. This, I don't know why that one says Developer Alley 2. Yeah, and it shows, yeah. So I'm actually minting one. This account already owns a ticket. And it shows the last 2. I need to tweak the code a bit. Sorry, I wrote this a little bit ago and I did it in a bit of a rush, so I need to tweak that a bit. It shouldn't be that slow in general. Feel free to put a pull request in on this though. So I'll just show you the functions that actually do that here as well. So this is my contract, and as you can see, all I've done at the top here is install NFT.storage from NFT.storage. I've also got an API key in my .m file, and sorry, this is my React front end in case that wasn't clear. And then I have 2 functions. The first one is, let's ignore all these connecting to wallet and chain request. Come back to that one. Yeah, so the first function is creating the NFT data. So when the user enters their name, I'm going to create the NFT data and save it to NFT storage, like I said. So I'm creating a client with NFT storage. Super simple, right? Like David said, 1 line of code, you're good to go. Those are the kind of tools we like to use. The next thing I'm doing here, I'm just using like an encrypt package, a React encrypt package to make sure someone doesn't like kind of try and insert their own SVG in here. That's basically all this code does, but I've got a base SVG. I'm appending the name to the end of that file. And that's how I bring up like kind of personalized NFT image here. So then client.store, name, description, image, everything you'd see in a classic in the metadata for an NFT in general. And then you can add whatever else you like to this. So if you wanted to add traits, you wanted to do something like that, you could definitely add that to this as well. And then you can see that the metadata So that's it. That's how you save to NFT storage. You've got 8 times redundancy. You get a CID, and all I needed to do was import a package from npm. So that's what I love about this one. So thanks, David and team. Appreciate that. I can have a quick look. I think in the code. Sorry if I'm flicking a bit. I think in the code we should probably have seen that call. So this would be the response from, nope, that's not it. We can probably do it. It's all right. Anyway, the metadata comes back basically with that IPFS CID and a couple of other things. So that's what I just wanted to show you there. And that's really all there is to connecting to NFT storage. So that's how we store it. If you wanted to display it, I've also got a little function up the top here, creating the image view. So as you can see, I'm kind of just splitting down the CID that I get returned from the image data. I've actually got a bit of a confusing metadata name, so don't mind the splitting there. But basically all it is HTTPS, and I've used ipfs.dweb.link as my HTTP gateway. And this is how I set the image view and display that NFT on the front end. And that's basically it, guys. That's kind of all I wanted to show you today. So hopefully a decent get started guide on how to build your own NFTs. You can also download this from GitHub. It's free to use, and you can go and mint your own NFT. Yay! That is it for our live stream as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us online. Next up, we're going to hear from Chris at the Graver House, though. Here he is in his swanky shirt. Thank you, Chris.